Welcome back to Dream Homes TV. Today, we are thrilled to invite you into a world of exclusive luxury living that redefines elegance by embracing the raw. In this episode, we explore the bold architectural trend where industrial elements, like exposed concrete, weathered brick, and structural steel, are transformed into stunning aesthetic centerpieces. We are moving beyond traditional polish to celebrate the honest beauty of unrefined textures. You will see how top designers blend these rugged materials with high-end comfort to create spaces that are both authentic and sophisticated. Join us as we discover how the unfinished look is becoming the ultimate statement of modern opulence. For decades, the concept of luxury in interior design was synonymous with high shine, gilded surfaces, and pristine perfection. However, a significant paradigm shift has occurred in the upper echelons of design, moving away from ostentatious displays of wealth toward a more grounded, sensory experience. True opulence is no longer defined by how much gold leaf you can apply to a ceiling, but rather by the authenticity of the materials used to construct the space. We are entering an era where the visceral feel of a room, the roughness of stone, the grain of wood, and the cool touch of steel, holds more value than synthetic gloss. This new definition of luxury prioritizes emotional connection and tactile depth over superficial sparkle. The sensory psychology of raw spaces. Living rooms are the heart of the home, and their design must evoke a sense of sanctuary and grounding. Utilizing raw materials taps into a primal psychology that finds comfort in the natural world. When we strip away the layers of paint, plaster, and polish, we expose the bones of a structure, creating a sense of permanence and safety. A room filled with raw textures invites the inhabitants to touch and interact with their surroundings, creating a dynamic relationship between the person and the architecture. This approach moves beyond the visual. It requires a design strategy that considers acoustics, temperature, and haptics, ensuring that the roughness of the aesthetic is balanced by the comfort required for daily living. The canvas of contemporary cool, often misunderstood as cold or purely industrial, exposed concrete has emerged as the premier backdrop for high-end living rooms. When executed correctly, concrete offers a velvety, matte texture that absorbs light rather than reflecting it, creating a soft, mood-enhancing atmosphere. Whether it is board-formed concrete that retains the imprint of the wood used to cast it, or polished concrete floors that reveal the aggregate stones within, this material serves as a neutral, sophisticated canvas. It allows furniture and art to take center stage without competing for attention. The subtle variations in color, from slate gray to warm grayish, provide a natural movement that flat paint simply cannot replicate, adding an element of organic art to the walls themselves. The key to mastering concrete in a living room lies entirely in the art of juxtaposition. To prevent the space from feeling like a parking garage or a warehouse, the raw gray surfaces must be paired with elements of extreme softness and warmth. This is where the interior designer's curation becomes critical. Imagine a plush, camel-colored velvet sofa sitting against a monolithic concrete wall, or a high-pile Moroccan rug spread across a cement floor. These contrasts highlight the beauty of both materials. The concrete looks stronger and more structured, while the textiles appear softer and more inviting. This interplay creates a tension that is visually arresting and hallmarks the sophisticated raw luxury aesthetic. Celebrating imperfection and grain in the realm of raw luxury, wood is not sanded down to a uniform smoothness or stained to hide its natural character. Instead, we see a celebration of live-edge slabs, reclaimed timber beams, and wide plank flooring that showcases knots, cracks, and variations in grain. These imperfections are the storytelling elements of the material, revealing the history of the tree and the passage of time. Using raw, matte-finished wood in a living room adds an immediate injection of biological warmth. It bridges the gap between the outdoors and the indoors, acting as a natural softening agent against harder materials like steel or stone. The goal is to preserve the integrity of the timber, allowing it to breathe and age within the space. The architectural use of timber beyond furniture, raw wood is increasingly being used as a structural and architectural cladding element in luxury living rooms. Vertical slat walls made of untreated oak or walnut can add rhythm and height to a room, drawing the eye upward and expanding the perceived volume of the space. Heavy, reclaimed timber beams across a ceiling can lower the scale of a vast room, making it feel more intimate and grounded. These architectural applications of wood provide a rhythmic texture that absorbs sound, improving the acoustic quality of the living area. By using wood in its most natural state, designers create an envelope of warmth that feels secure and timeless, rather than trendy and transient. The ancient anchor of design stone is perhaps the most permanent and luxurious of all raw materials, offering a sense of geological history to a modern living space. We are moving away from the high-gloss, sealed granite of the early 2000s and embracing porous, honed, and tumbled finishes. Materials like travertine, limestone, and soapstone are prized for their chalky, matte textures and thermal mass. A living room featuring a floor-to-ceiling fireplace clad in rough-cut fieldstone or honed slate commands attention not through shine, but through gravity. These materials ground the room, providing a heavy, substantial counterpoint to light and airy furnishings, anchoring the design in a way that feels unshakable and enduring. Travertine and the return of beige specifically, unfilled travertine has made a massive resurgence in luxury interiors, celebrated for its pitted surface and earthy, beige tonality. Unlike the sterile white of Carrara marble, travertine brings warmth and a distinct tactile quality that begs to be touched. In a living room setting, a low-slung travertine coffee table or a feature wall creates a connection to classical architecture while remaining firmly rooted in modernism. The natural voids and craters in the stone interact with lighting to create micro-shadows, adding depth that a smooth surface lacks. This material fits perfectly into the monochromatic warm minimalism trend, where texture replaces color as the primary method of creating visual interest. Historical authenticity for urban luxury living, nothing rivals the charm and grit of original exposed brick. It serves as a visual diary of the building, often revealing different eras of construction through changes in the brick color or mortar style. In a luxury context, the brick is rarely painted over. Instead, it is cleaned and sealed with a matte finish to prevent dusting while preserving its variegated tones. The reds, browns, and burnt oranges of brickwork provide a built-in color palette for the living room, eliminating the need for complex paint schemes. It adds a layer of industrial heritage that feels authentic, contrasting beautifully with sleek, modern Italian furniture or contemporary art pieces. Patina over polish. The era of high-shine chrome and stainless steel is fading in favor of living metals that evolve over time. Brass, copper, bronze, and blackened steel are now preferred in their raw or brushed states, allowed to develop a patina that adds character and depth. In a living room, this might manifest as a blackened steel fireplace surround, unlacquered brass light fixtures, or iron window frames. These metals offer a brooding, sophisticated aesthetic that feels custom and artisanal. The luxury lies in the material's ability to change. A fingerprint on unlacquered brass or a water spot on bronze becomes part of the object's history, moving away from the sterile perfection of mass production. Corten steel and industrial warmth. One of the most striking raw materials entering the luxury living room is corten, weathering, steel. Known for its stable, rust-like appearance, corten brings a fiery orange-brown hue into the interior palette, providing a shock of warmth that rivals natural wood. Used typically in architectural features like room dividers, fireplace cladding, or custom shelving units, it offers an industrial edge that is simultaneously warm and inviting. The texture is rough and powdery to the touch, visually heavy, and incredibly durable. It signals a design confidence that embraces the beauty of oxidation and decay, turning a chemical process into a high-end aesthetic statement that feels both ancient and avant-garde. The invisible texture, while often thought of as smooth and invisible, glass in raw luxury interiors is treated as a texture in its own right. We are seeing a move toward fluted, reeded, and seated glass which distorts light and obscures views, adding a layer of mystery and complexity. In a living room, large panes of frameless glass can act as the barrier between the raw interior and the raw nature outside, blurring the lines between the two. The juxtaposition of fragile, transparent glass against heavy, opaque concrete or stone creates a delicate balance. It allows natural light to flood the space, highlighting the textures of the other materials and changing the mood of the room as the sun moves across the sky. The essential soft layer, because raw materials like stone, concrete, and steel are inherently hard and often acoustically reflective, textiles play a crucial functional and aesthetic role. The luxury approach to textiles involves natural fibers that mirror the authenticity of the building materials: chunky wool knits, heavy washed linens, boucle, and alpaca. These fabrics should look and feel organic, avoiding synthetic sheens. Layering is key. A linen sofa with a cashmere throw and a wool rug creates a hierarchy of softness that invites relaxation. The weave of the fabric becomes a microtexture that complements the macro textures of the walls and floors, ensuring the room feels habitable and cozy despite its rugged shell. The role of leather and hides. Leather is another raw material that fits seamlessly into this aesthetic, particularly when it is aniline dyed and allowed to show natural markings. A vintage leather armchair with creases and a worn patina acts as a sculpture in the room, embodying the concept of wabi-sabi, beauty and imperfection. Cowhides or sheepskins layered over concrete floors add organic shapes and extreme softness, breaking up the rigid geometric lines of modern architecture. These animal byproducts bring a primal element to the living room, reinforcing the connection to nature and providing a durability that synthetic fabrics cannot match. They age beautifully, becoming softer and more comfortable with use, which is the hallmark of true luxury. Sculpting with shadows. Lighting a room filled with raw textures requires a different strategy than lighting smooth drywall. The goal is to graze the surfaces with light to accentuate their topography. Wall washers and recessed floor uplights are essential tools. They cast long shadows across the uneven surfaces of brick, stone, or slat wood, dramatizing the texture. Without proper lighting, a raw wall can look flat and dull. With directional lighting, it becomes a dynamic landscape of peaks and valleys. Warm color temperatures, 2700 K to 3000 K, are essential to counteract the potential coolness of concrete or gray stone, ensuring the living room feels intimate and welcoming in the evening hours. The color palette of raw luxury. When working with raw materials, the color palette is dictated by nature rather than a paint fan deck. The scheme naturally gravitates toward earth tones, the gray of cement, the terracotta of brick, the ochre of wood, and the charcoal of steel. This limited, organic palette creates a serene, cohesive environment that is easy on the eyes and promotes mental clarity. Pops of color are generally avoided in favor of tonal variations. If color is introduced, it is usually deep and moody, forest greens, navy blues, or burnt siennas, derived from nature, ensuring that the additional hues do not clash with the honest tones of the building materials. Biophilic design and living elements. To breathe life into a space dominated by stone and concrete, plant life becomes a non-negotiable raw material. Large-scale indoor trees, such as ficus or olive trees, introduce a fractal complexity that softens the rectilinear architecture. The vibrant green chlorophyll provides the only necessary contrast to the neutral mineral tones of the room. This is biophilic design in its purest form, not just adding a potted plant, but integrating living systems into the interior. The organic, chaotic growth of leaves contrasts beautifully with the static, rigid nature of the built environment, creating a symbiotic relationship that makes the living room feel fresh and oxygenated. The sustainability factor, a significant driver behind the raw material movement, is the growing demand for sustainability and eco-conscious living. Using materials in their raw state often means fewer chemical treatments, less processing, and a lower carbon footprint compared to highly manufactured synthetics. Reclaimed wood, locally sourced stone, and recycled metals align with a luxury ethos that values ethical consumption. Homeowners are increasingly proud to showcase materials that have a low environmental impact. This honest architecture doesn't try to hide what it is made of, promoting a philosophy of transparency and respect for the Earth's resources, which is becoming the ultimate status symbol in modern design. Curation and negative space designing with raw materials requires a disciplined hand when it comes to decoration. The architecture itself is the decoration. Therefore, the use of negative space, empty areas where the eye can rest, is vital. Overcluttering a room with raw textures can make it feel chaotic or unfinished. The luxury comes from the breathing room around the objects. A single, sculptural chair placed against a vast concrete wall makes a stronger statement than a room filled with knickknacks. This minimalist approach forces every item in the room to justify its existence, ensuring that only objects of beauty and function remain, allowing the textures of the shell to sing without distraction. The future of living room design. As we look toward the future of interior design, the trend of raw luxury shows no signs of slowing down. It speaks to a collective desire for authenticity in an increasingly digital and artificial world. By embracing the rough, the weathered, and the unrefined, we create living spaces that are not just showrooms, but tactile environments that engage our senses and ground us in the present moment. This masterclass in materials teaches us that true luxury is not about the price tag of the gold leaf, but about the quality of the stone, the history of the wood, and the honesty of the concrete. It is a design style that ages with us, becoming more beautiful and storied with every passing year.